Let's have a look at how we handle tenders, RFPs, RFIs with the Sequesto platform. Very frequently throughout such a complex process, the customer would send you all types of documents you need to fill in, answer, or documents that contain relevant information around the tender procedure. If it is a PDF, a typical PDF or a Word document that contains all the relevant information, the first thing we would do throughout the platform is identify what needs to be done. Where is the relevant information? Where are the typical questions that I'll need to answer? Where are specific references that are being made to attachments I potentially need to provide? And I would simply highlight throughout the document, I would highlight the different type of activities. Today we support questions that you need to answer, topics that you need to comment on, references being made to all kind of attachments you might need to provide throughout the document. We're adding red flags in the document, we're adding exclusion criteria and all kind of other types of relevant information that need your attention. Once we've highlighted all these different items, we could still say, wait a minute, this one is not that relevant, so let's just delete it here. But once we're done with basically highlighting the relevant information, we will then extract that information. As you can see here, we've extracted from this document 3 references to a specific attachment that we need to provide, and in this case, 4 questions. Let's maybe start off with a question. I might say, wait a minute, this is not necessarily a question that I'm going to answer. I'm going to take this question and you know what? I'm going to assign it to one of my coworkers, Ivrar. He's much better positioned to answer that question. In another case, I might start answering questions myself. So the idea is you can basically work on all these activities and topics yourself, but you could also basically hand over the work to your coworkers so that everybody's contributing into the process. Now, once I'm going to answer a question, I've got all the information that we've got in our collective memory or in the library at hand. In the collective memory, we have basically stored question and answer pairs from previously answered tenders, RFPs, RFIs, questionnaires, but we also have sections. And the sections are basically all kind of documentation. Look at it like big data files. All kind of files, PDFs, documents, Excel sheets. We cut it up into small portions so that we can very rapidly identify relevant portions and hand them over to you, propose them to you. When we're looking at a question, we're looking at a question from 2 different angles. We use a number of AI algorithms to identify what does this question mean, and can we find similar questions in the database, in our collective memory, and how did we answer that question before? Next to that, we also use keywords. From those keywords, we not only look for those specific keywords, but we do a couple of things with those keywords. First thing, starting off with these keywords, we look at what are the most popular synonyms people are using today that are very similar to those specific keywords. We also look for those. And then we look at what kind of languages do we use in our library. We might have information stored in German, in French, in Italian, in English, in Dutch, in any other language out there. So we would then take those keywords, the synonyms, translate them into the different languages, and then basically perform the search so that we can then identify all the relevant information. Once we've picked the right information, we say, yeah, this is the one that I'm going to use. Or you could say, no, I haven't found anything. I just put my correct answer in here. Or as far as we're concerned, you could basically say, wait a minute, I might have something which is much more relevant on my personal hard drive. Let me retrieve that, cut and paste it in here. Even if necessary, I'll translate it into whatever appropriate language to fill in the correct answer. Once I'm done, we just put the information back in here. And so you can see all the bits and pieces coming together. Remember, it weren't only questions that we had to handle. Remember, we also had a number of attachments that we were covering. That's what we can do here. Here we can basically say, I've got a number of attachments, describe safeguards. Okay, that is basically what I've got in my network and security policy. That describes perfectly what it is that we're handling and how we're tackling specific things. Once you're done, you basically allocated and added uh, a number of attachments to the document. What we do with that, we basically put all the attachments in a zip file, create a table of content of all the different attachments that you've got, and basically create that file so that you can send that over together with your answer document. Once we've got the analysis done, we've got all the questions that we've got answered. The last thing that we then need to do is we basically just create a proposal. Proposal can be, let's put everything in a blank page and we'll continue manually in Word. It could be, let's retrieve the customer's document, identify where all the questions are, and put the relevant answers below the right questions. Or it could be, let's use one of our own corporate templates and just put in the relevant detail at the right place in that template. That's what we do with the Sequesto tender answering platform.